Carolyn Dube here, and I am playing in my art journal today, feeling like the need to get my hands messy and play with spray inks. That always starts the day right for me. I am going to be playing with this one. Notice it is still perfectly clean, not for long. This is the first time I have used this one from Dina Wakley. It is Sally and Carly. I'm not sure which one she is, but she's one of them, in the 6x6 size. It's perfectly clean. Enjoy this now because it's not going to be this way again. And then I'm also going to be using Julie Balzer's Cornflowers. So, for the idea that I have, I want her to stay right there, and she's hard to see as I do things, but she's going to wiggle, and I want to hold her in place. So I am going to use handy dandy artist tape here. And it is a repositionable tape. Any like blue painter's tape will work. This is just the stuff I happen to have. And I'm going to make one of those little tape circles, and I'm going to stick that right on her. I think I need another one because I really don't want her to move. And another tape circle. Very scientific there. Pick her up, stick it down. And so now, and I love her attitude, man. She's like, yeah, with that hand, those hands, love her. So I'm going to put her right down there, and because she's taped down, she's going to stay for me and not move. I also have a blank journal right here ready to go to collect up my leftovers, my junk from spraying, because I don't want to waste a thing. And now comes this beauty. Oh, look at all those colors. I am going to put this, I think about like that. And I'm going to start with some yellow. Nice and juicy, and I'm going to lift it up. And I'm actually going to line up that flower. So that flower is about lined up, actually not perfectly, but you know, it's good enough. And I'm going to lift up. Now this thing is loaded in ink. So what I'm then going to do, I'll show you this one. I'm going to take this and put it on here. And I'm just going to grab something to push it down with so I don't get ink all over my hands. Why am I worried about getting ink on my hands? That's silly. I don't care about ink on my hands. And, ooh, that's nice. Check out the way that ink kind of rubs around. And so now I have that, which will be the beginning of an art journal page for something. Who knows what? I'm just collecting up old ink here. I've still got more ink on here, so I'm going to go to the next page. And I'm actually going to turn this one this way. Try and pick up the rest of that ink. There. Who knows what it'll be, but I didn't waste it. And I got ink on my hands, which I wanted. Why was I thinking to keep my hands clean? Am I going somewhere tonight? Am I getting a manicure? Who knows? Alright, so I am ready to put on the next one. Bring this guy back. Here comes the stencil. And I'm going to use some, I'm going to go some green next. I do not want my flowers to line up. I want them to be somewhere else. I never want everything to line up here. If it all lines up, it's not going to do for me what I want it to do, so. And you know what? I noticed I got a little bit of overspray up there, and although that's fun, a lot of times I don't want overspray this time. So I am going to attach something up there so I don't get overspray. Oh look, my kid's homework. That's not big enough, so I'll take 2 pieces. I am going to tape my kid's homework to this so that I don't get overspray, because I kind of want that to stay a little more pristine. So, again, repositionable tape. That way if I change my mind, stick the tape on there, and then come over like that, and then I'm going to do a piece there and there. So I'm just kind of making a shield for this, using whatever I had around, which happens to be my kids' homework. It's getting close to the end of the school year, which means I'll get a nice new stash in a couple of months of papers and things like that that I can keep using. I have a big gap up there, so I need another piece of paper. You know what? I'm just going to take it from over there. As I rip up these papers, and they'll get spray ink all over them, that's my hope, they'll also become great collage pieces. There's the end of the tape. Wow. That thing was just hidden from me. It was like a secret. Okay. So that'll give me a little bit of shielding as I go on to my next color. And I just want to make sure everything does not line up. Just a few. I'm going to go with some generous squirts here because I want bold color. Shocking, I know. Oh, look at that wonderful color. Now I need some more over here. And again, I don't want anything to line up. So I'm just going to shoot this big flower and those guys over there. And then I'm going to put this biggie right here. And this one again is nice and juicy. Let's see what that gives me for a future art journal page. I am actually going to leave that down right there because I've got all those papers around it. And I'm going to take my art journal page right to it. Kind of almost jelly print style. The way I take the paper to the plate, I'm going to take the paper to the stencil. Oh, look at all that great color on there. Oh yeah. Oh, and I even got some extra bonus right there. Okay. Still more paint on there, so what I'm going to do is go back to this page that was kind of hodgepodge. And I'm just going to see if... All I'm really trying to do is pick up all of the juicy ink because I don't want it running all over the place. And so I'm just building up layers of color there. Then who knows what they'll become. Okay. Okay, so the field of flowers is building up here. I've got yellows and greens, and now what do I want next? I want some blue. Need blue. And as I'm placing the flowers, I'm trying to find a place where I don't have complete flowers yet. Oh yeah. Let's see, I need one little one over here. Nice part about doing this is I also get some that go right off the edge, and I really like the look of some going off the edge. Now with all this spray ink, you know I can't waste that. So, time to find another blank. You know what? I'm actually going to take this green one, and I'm going to put the blue on it, but over just a little bit. So I'm going to build up some layers on that. Oh, really liking that one. Oh, liking that one. Oh, buddy, am I liking that one. Still got some ink on here. So I'm going to just see if I can just soak up some of that ink. Look how that's building up into this wonderful grungy. I'm going to throw in some of the bubblegum pink color to this. Yeah. Because, you know, I got to have an entire rainbow on something for some reason. Let's see. Either this is going to look great or it's going to go too far. Nope, haven't gone too far yet. Okay, works for me. And, whoops, knocking stuff over there. Oh well, I'll pick it up in a moment. I got that. Do I like, you know what? I actually do. I'm going to let that go as that. And then I am just puddling like a champion here. Let's see what we get with, oh, look at that. I'm going to smear that with my hands and I'm going to see how that turns out. Let's see. Little hand smearing. Happy hand. So at this point, I'm really torn. Do I add another color or not? Do I think that it's got enough going on here that one more color is going to tip it over the edge and just make it overdone? as if I might not already be there. You know what? I got to do it. No guts, no glory, right? Because I need something up there. The question is, what color? Do I go with a purple? Or do I go with orange? I'm going to go orange. Gonna do some orange here. And this is either going to be great or it's really going to be bad. I'm liking it. So now I need some more orange. I'm going to pop some orange right there. Maybe a little orange in this corner. The orange is almost out. Excuse to go shopping. Not a lot of orange, but a little bit of orange, and I like that. I was worried that, because like I'm starting to get, you can see where it's getting a little muddy there. It's just too dark. I really kind of like it in a few spots here and there, but if I'd done the whole thing in orange, I would have ended up with a lot of that and lost the pretty bright. So I am glad I did that. Now, to see what I get off of all of that ink, where do I want to go? I think I want to put that with another one. So, no I don't. I don't like how to look with any of those, so I'll do it on a fresh one. Oh, if I got so many great starts to art journal pages in here. I absolutely love how that looks. Love it. Still have ink on there, so I'm going to go back to my junk page where I'm just kind of cleaning stuff up. And I'm going to put that on there. Just clean up the last little bits of ink here and there. So I'm done with this stencil, I think. So I'm going to peel my fun papers off. And so now what I've got are collage elements that are ready to go for something else. So now I've got her, let's see, Carolyn, whomever this is. And I'm going to pull her up. And now you can see her outline. I didn't want the dilutions on her because dilutions, because they're water reactive, come up through paints and gessos, which can make them, it's a magnificent effect. But this time I actually wanted her to be completely plain. So she's got some attitude here. She's looking at the garden. And oh, what a garden it is. This is completely dry now. This is the mask, the part of the stencil there, from Dina Wakley. And I am actually going to use her to trace. I still have the tape on the back, and that will help kind of hold her in position because I'm a sloppy tracer, and things tend to wiggle and move on me. So I'm going to have that there, and then I'm just going to go around it. This is a Uniball Vision micro pen. It's waterproof, fade proof, it says on the package. I will say with this one, it is waterproof, but it really needs to dry, so you have to give it a little while to dry before it is waterproof. So now I'm just going to sketch, or not sketch, I'm really tracing her. Oh, and this pen, you can find these. I got this at Staples, I think. It's an office supply pen. Oh, there I had my mistake there. So that will change how I do this. So now she's outlined. You can see her a little bit better. But I've got an error right here where, an oops, where the pen kind of slipped on me. Okay, so there she is, all zoomed in. I have my mistake there. So I can either let that stand there as just a complete mistake, kind of thing that bugs me, or I can say, okay, how do I incorporate this in? So what I'm going to do now is kind of go around and create her, just do a loose, sketchy kind of look around her so that my little mistake there disappears in everything. It'll make her stand out a little bit more, and it covers up my oops. So I actually do like that oops in the end. So now I've got the black line around her, but I don't have black lines anywhere else. So I'm going to add some black lines with this pen through journaling. And I'm actually going to go up the stems here as I journal. Alright, so what I've done with this journaling is, I can't read these words. I'll bet you can't read these words. What I'm doing is just sort of processing what I'm thinking. I really don't care if I can read them. This stems partially because I don't really love my handwriting, and also too that it's not like I have deep, profound thoughts here. It's what's in my head as I'm thinking about these flowers. She has this kind of attitude to her here of like, well, and what... Okay, this is going to sound really silly. This is what's in my head, is that she planted, she thought she was getting watermelons, so she planted watermelon seeds, and this is what she gets instead. And that comes from when I did some plantings, and we were tending to our garden, and anyway, we planted stuff we didn't realize we'd planted, and got something that surprised us. So that's kind of where my mind went with this, and so I'm going to keep running with that. I've got her with the black lines. I've got some subtle black lines heading up the stems. Actually, I want a little bit more of this stem. Okay, so that makes me happier there. So I can either leave it at this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stop here or not. Shockingly, I did not stop. Ended up going with more journaling. And just, I'm using the Dilutions inks on this. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I did this, and I don't like how that looks up there. So I've got some choices now of what I want to do with that. So I think what I'm going to do is bury it under some gesso. If I can open my gesso. Goodness gracious, that was on tightly. So just taking some gesso. It doesn't have to completely go away. Oh. And I'm picking up stray spray ink. So I'm going to get some color to this. Stray yellow. There's a little bit of blue. There's my dog who just wanted out, so I let him out. Now he wants back in. He has a hard time making his mind up. Actually, he just wants me to do whatever he wants me to do. And the sad part is I usually do whatever he wants me to do. He's worked very hard to train us so that we can be just the family he wants us to be. Because he is the one who is training us. We used to think we were the ones training him, but no. I'm going over here with some of the gesso on this corner, even though there's no writing, just so it looks more like I planned this. Looks a little more consistent, that kind of thing. And this will push some of the writing back. Maybe not as much as I wanted to push back. Maybe I should just get out the white paint. Alright, so I wanted some sparkle on these, but I've already got a lot of color happening, and I'm not going to be able to match up the colors perfectly, and that will bug me. And I think it'll be too much. I know, as if I can say there is too much color. So I decided to go with a sparkly glitter glue. This is kind of a clear glitter glue. So it'll just pick up, it'll just add a little bit of sparkle, and it'll pick up each color rather than competing so much. It just give it a little bit of a touch. The dilutions, because it reacts to water, and lo and behold, there's water in these, because that's, you know, the glue part. It should pick up some bits of the color rather nicely. Oh, yeah. This is what I wanted. Just to have that little touch of sparkle really adds a lot to it for me. And now that the words are getting pushed to the background there, I'm getting oh, I haven't washed out my brush. Whoops. Okay, I'm back. I really like that brush. I don't want that one to die, so threw that one in water. But I'm actually liking that now that it's dry. That's pushing it back far enough that I'm willing to. I definitely like the contrast of her staying white, which is pretty funny because I usually don't go for the white space thing, but I like her right there, standing in front of it.